See, not even the camera wanted me to tell the story because it turned off. You know, that's just the situation. So, let me go back. Early birthday present to myself, because a lot of her books come out around my birthday. So I'm like, all right, bet. Treat myself. So, I go to Barnes & Noble. I get the book. Okay, you guys. This has been a long awaited video, and it has taken me forever to make it. And let me tell you what that is. It started out with this book, With Love, Echo Park, by Laura Taylor Namey. But not only that, do you see how this is paperback? You see that little spot right there? That says, an advanced reviewer copy, uncorrected proof, not for sale. I was given this as part of the Las Flores team, where we got to talk about the book and promote the book and share on all our socials and everything like that. And I was posting pictures, I was posting videos. I even went to go visit Echo Park with my boyfriend and explore it, and it was so cute, and I made a video.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to.
We are on our way. We're walking to Echo Park because we couldn't find parking, so we had to park far away in the neighborhood. But I've never been to Echo Park, and while reading With Love, Echo Park, written by Laura Taylor Namey, I've been wanting to come over here and explore the area, and it's definitely helping the book come alive. So I really like this book, and I really like that I can visit different places that are near me. And it's so pretty over here, like the scenery, the murals. And I gotta read this before pretty much the main public, because here is the actual hard copy that you can get in stores. Like, look at, see how this advanced copy looks like this, and it looks like that. Look how vibrant that is. And look at the back. Oh, wrong side. See? Very different. Also, look how pretty it is. And also, the cover, it's like a little rough, a little scratchy, and then smooth on the characters and the words, but everything else, rough, smooth, beautiful. And I was gonna do a review long ago, but here we are, we're doing it now. But let me give you some, you guys won't believe the story. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story. I wasn't gonna tell you guys the story, but I'm gonna tell you the story. The day I went to go buy my own copy of the hardback to support one of my comfort authors, Laura Taylor Namey, the day I was going to go to Barnes & Noble and buy the book. Let me take you back to that day. Beautiful day, a little bit of traffic, but you know, I'm in LA, so that's normal. And I'm like, you know, it's okay. I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble. I'm going to treat myself, get myself an early birthday present, because a lot of her books tend to come out close to my birthday, so it's always an early. See, not even the camera wanted me to tell the story because it turned off. You know, that's just the situation. So, let me go back. Early birthday present to myself, because a lot of her books come out around my birthday. So I'm like, all right, bet, treat myself. So I go to Barnes & Noble. I get the book. It's the last copy in the store. I get the book. Happy as can be. What could go wrong? You guys, I say past tense because I don't do this anymore. You know when you're parking your car and you go over the curb, and then sometimes if you have a low car and you back up and it goes if you've gone over it too much, kind of scrapes the bottom of your car. I used to do that all the time, and people would say, don't do that because one day it'll rip off the bumper or something. Okay. So I go over it. I did not hear it scrape. So when I parked my car, went over it, didn't hear anything. I'm like, perfection. We have clearance. Go and get the book. Bought this beautiful book. Early birthday present. Did I mention that? Come out of Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna back on out. And I heard not a but a the black thing underneath my car. It's called the guard or something like that. I forgot. But the black part underneath my car ripped off. The front half of my bumper, half of it was off my car, dragging. Half of it was on my car, half of it wasn't. It was not drivable. I had to call AAA. They had to come and zip tie my car back together. I had to drive very slowly going home. Mind you, it was nighttime in a place that I don't really know. It was just the only Barnes & Noble that had this book. So then I had to go to a mechanic and auto body part shop the following day. It was not a fun experience. It just happened at the Barnes & Noble parking lot, and that was when I bought this. And I was gonna make a whole video and everything, and then that clearly did not happen. And then shortly after that, I fell into a reading slump and did not want to read. I thought, my, can this get any better? So, you know, here we are, months later, doing a review about this beautiful book. But it actually is a beautiful book. I love this book so much. So that's why I didn't post a review. It was a great time. Real great time. Anyways, also, when I was in my reading slump, I was like the slowest person to read books ever. But anyways, I finished the book. I wanted to talk about it. Oh my gosh. But you know what? Let me just say this. Before I jump into the book review, let me be straight up honest, okay? I am not someone who likes adult books. I am someone who likes young adult books. I love YA novels. Those are what I tend to read, even as a 27-year-old. It's what I like to read. I don't like spicy books. It's not my thing. I've tried. It's not my thing. I really don't like spicy books. So, you know, everyone going crazy about other authors out there who are very spicy. That's not me. I like a good enemies to lovers, frenemies, friends to lovers, innocent YA novels, or Hallmark-like books. Those are my favorite type of books. And I have very select, like once I have a favorite author, I'll just read that author's books, all of them, and then over and over again, or find similar authors that I like. So it's very rare for me to have a huge collection of books of other authors, because once I hyperfixate once I have my favorite author or favorite authors. I stick with them. And let me share who one of few, because I'm very picky, one of few of my favorite comfort authors is. One of my favorite comfort authors is. I know English, and that is Laura Taylor Namey. If you guys have been following my channel since 2020, you would know that I did a book review on A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was there in England, able to see all of these beautiful things. There's a place in here. I shouldn't mention the place because then it would be a spoiler, but there's a place in here that I'd never heard of, and I was asking my dad about it, who cooks, and I was asking him, like, hey, do you know what this place is about? And he said yes, and told me about it, and I thought that was pretty cool. I can't talk anymore about that because then it'll become a spoiler, but I felt like I was there, and it was just really special to read. And I said how much of like this feels like a book that's like a sweater that's like perfect for a cozy fall day, like perfect comfort book. I still stick to that. This is my ultimate favorite comfort book, A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. This is my introduction to Laura Taylor Namey. Her book, this was like, I think I read this either like in the start of the pandemic or during the pandemic. I don't really remember, but like this was like, I reread this during the pandemic. This is like my comfort book. I read this every fall. Well, I didn't last year because I fell into a reading slump, but I read this every fall. Like, this is one of my comfort books. Then, the book before, okay, here's the thing. Her first book, I could not find for the longest time. But then I finally found it at Barnes & Noble. No, Barnes & Noble? Or did I forgot. Maybe I ordered this online. I can't really recall. But it's a Library of Lost Things. This is her first book. I have not read it yet, but I will. When I finish it, I will let you know. I have a long list of books I have to read, so, you know, what's new. But then, the part 2 of A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow is A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak. I also haven't read this. The reading slump was so bad, you guys. Okay, I'm still catching up. All right, I'm catching up. I'll get there. I did start it though. I like it. This one, I've been on again, off again reading this, and it's her book When We Were Them. I think this came out during the pandemic. I think. I've lost track how many. When I started reading it, I was going through a reading slump, so then I didn't finish it, and then I'd start it, and then I'd stop it, and then I'd get distracted, and then I'd start it, and then I'd stop it. But here we are again. I've started it again, and I actually found the audiobook, which makes it a whole lot easier because I drive a lot. That's why I can't finish books in a timely manner, because I'm always driving. So I need the audiobooks so I can finish it while I'm driving, and then I have the book or the Kindle with me, and then I can, you know, have the books. This sounds so bad that I haven't read all her books, but like I own them. That's gotta count for something, right? Okay. Anyways, Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow is my ultimate top favorite. But then again, I'm still reading these. You know, when I finish these, I'm gonna do a review. Laura, I promise. I will. I will. Anyways, moving on to With Love, Echo Park. Now this one I had to finish because A, not only was I gifted it, but also because I live not that far from Echo Park. And this was like the first book where I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually go visit the places that they're talking about in this book. And for me, I thought that was the coolest thing because it really brought the book to life. I mean, they talk about, oh man, what's it called? Portos. They talk about Portos in this book. I went blank for a second, so I couldn't remember. This is the most chaotic book review I've ever done in the entirety of book reviews. Anyways, they talk about Portos, which is one of my ultimate favorite Cuban bakeries out here, and it's the most amazing thing ever. And if you guys watched the Visit Echo Park video, I'll put it on here, but also link in the description box below. I actually got the order that the characters got in the book. I bought the same order that the characters ordered in the book. So it really helped it bring to life of like what they're eating, and then visiting Echo Park and seeing it, and also, as mentioned, going like seeing the Hollywood sign and Griffith Observatory and all these places, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know where that's at, and I can actually drive to it. I love books like that because it's like it's more relatable because you can go to it. I mean, bet you bottom dollar that one day when I travel to the UK, I'm gonna try to find places that resemble this or anything that's mentioned in it. I want to go there. So, you know, and same for all the other books, you know. There's real places that are put into these books and I want to go visit them. But for this one, I was able to go visit some of these places and it really brought it to life. And low-key, I'm not gonna lie, I saw a lot of myself in Clary. And just her stubbornness, but also I don't own a flower shop, but I love arranging flowers. I love flowers. If you guys saw my last video, I was literally arranging a flower bouquet. Like I love arranging flowers. So and also I love the fact that in all of Laura Taylor Namie's books, she puts like a little bit of Spanish, and I'm not great at Spanish, but I'm learning. I understand, I just can't speak it or write it, but I can read it and hear it and understand it, and I love that, and it kind of challenges me a little bit as well. But maybe I should read the description. I know some people don't like that, so if you don't like the reading of descriptions of books, then skip forward to this part of the video. 17-year-old Clary Delgado is set to inherit her family's florist shop, La Rosa Blanca, one of the last remnants of the once thriving Cuban business districts in Los Angeles' Echo Park neighborhood. Clary knows Echo Park is where she'll leave a legacy, and nothing is more important than keeping the area's unique history alive. Besides Clary's florist shop, there's only one other business left, founded by Cuban immigrants fleeing Castro's regime in the 60s and 70s. And Emilio, who's supposed to take over Alvalos Bicycle Works one day, is more flight risk than dependable successor. While others might find Emilio appealing, Clary can see him itching to leave now that he's graduated, and she'll never be charmed by a guy who doesn't care if one more Echo Park business fades away. But then Clary is caught off guard when an unexpected visitor delivers a shocking message from someone she thought she'd left behind. Meanwhile, Emilio realizes leaving home won't be so easy, and Clary, who has always been next door, is who he confides in. As summer days unfold, they find there's something stronger than local history tying them together. So I love with this book that there's actual, like, there's a lot of relatability in it, but there's also, like, not like how some books are, like, a little bit fluffy of, like, what the actual issue is that characters deal with in the books, but it's real life actual things that you know, you can see actually happening, and real life struggles that other families may deal with as well. And one thing I really love about Laura's work is just the fact that so much of her culture is put into her books, but also the importance and the representation that's put into it. And I feel like that's lost with some books these days and stories these days. But this, you can literally read her heart and soul in the pages of the books. And you can see that with the characters as well, of like their daily struggles and the importance of family. That is one thing I've seen in the connection of a lot of her books, is the importance of family and connection and community. And I also recommend reading this during the summer because it's a great summer read. So especially since summer is coming up, even though it's February, summer is going to be here before we know it. And it just gives you the summer feel, but I lost my train of thought. Summer feel, but also just so much relatability in the characters. Like I said, I see Clary, a lot of myself in Clary. And there's a few things of Emilio, not gonna lie, that this is the most chaotic book review I've ever done. I want to say I'm sorry, but at the same time, I know this is probably entertaining. Hopefully. That was my alarm telling me I have 2 hours until I need to start getting ready for work. LOL. But there's a few things with Emilio that I was reading. I'm like, oh, that reminds me of my boyfriend. But I love how their enemy, it's Emily. I cannot talk. I love how this is enemies to lovers book, and there's also so much chisme in here. Oh my gosh, like the chisme was muy caliente, and you're just turning every single page. If you don't know what that means, what I just said, it's the tea was hot. It was just whew, and page turners for sure. I don't know, this is why I don't do book reviews on my channel, because A, my mind goes all over the place, and B, I really don't know what to share except of like how it made me feel and what I liked with the characters. But then I really don't know what else to say, just because I don't like giving anything away. But I mean, I guess it's a non-spoiler book review, I guess. I don't know. I'm not very good at these. I say that, but then maybe I'm not. I don't really know. I'm second guessing everything right now. But I loved this book, and I think you guys should read it. And I think, honestly, it's the perfect book for summer. Not just summer, anytime. That goes for a Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. Like, as soon as I finish When We Were Them, I'm actually gonna go back and read A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, so that way I have the preface for A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak, because I feel like these need to be read back to back, you know, that makes sense. And then I do want to read The Library of Lost Things, so that is my book review. These are two of my producer friends here at school. Things have changed since that time. So, would you like to reintroduce yourself?
I'm Salticon. I'm still a producer.
Yep.
I'm still Ashley's friend, but we are also now dating.
Before the flowers were gathered and the bouquet was made, beauty grown from thorns rose to bloom. Ashley Wilson shared her journey of living with cystic fibrosis, loss, heartache, and finding strength through her faith. In I Caught the Bouquet, flowers were gathered and arranged to share a beautiful love that grew. Selected poems from Beauty Grown from Thorns have been included to complete the story and reveal who the muse of some of her letters of love have been about. And now enjoy a sneak peek from the book with the opening poem of I Caught the Bouquet. I caught the bouquet. I've never cared for catching a bouquet or calling all the single ladies to the front. To toss a bundle of flowers to a bunch of girls to then hint, "You're next to get hitched," blinded me in an unwanted spotlight I'd tried my best to avoid. Petals and leaves fly up into the air while girls fight for a bunch of flowers. Chill, it's not that big of a deal. At least to me it's not. A girl will squeal with delight, running to the bride with a handful of flowers, while the other girls with no ring in sight walk out of the spotlight. Catch the bouquet, they say. It'll be fun, they say. I'd rather not. Purchase your copy of I Caught the Bouquet today on Amazon, soon to be available on other sites.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of bird.